Hi guys, nice to see you again. I'm opening today a series of videos about LEDs and 7-segment displays. And obviously, we're going to have a project to emphasize the subject. That's a nice aluminum box, and this one can become easily your new apartment number. Like this, or like that. Maybe it's even better on the wall than on the door because the door may be moving. And the number can have 4 digits like this one, no big deal. It may have 3 digits, it may have 2 digits, it's up to you. Okay? The size of these digits is about 0.8 inches, so a bit less than 1 inch. You consider it too small? Okay. You can go for a bigger one, like this. This if we measure it, it's 7 inches high. Okay, 7 inches high. This may even become the number of your house. Forget about the fading effect, that's just an additional feature. And if you consider this one too big, then you may have, let's call it a compromise, something between. This is only 5 inches high. So 7 inches, 5 inches, that's brand new, never used before. And this one here, which is 0.8 inches. It depends what you need. But to make sure we understand what we need, let's go on the workbench. Okay, on the workbench, I prepared for you several sizes, plenty of numbers here. Let's start from the middle. This is a 0.3 inches size. I have another model right here, which is a dot matrix actually, but the size is identical to this one, is 0.3 inches. So this one I put it aside. This is the one we're going to use to make our project on the breadboard, is 0.50, let's say 0.5 inches size, half an inch. Okay. Compared to this is what I actually used right here in the project I was showing you before. This is 0.8 inches. So 0.5, 0.8. Compared to 0.8, this is a bit more complicated. It's not a 7-segment, it's a 16:7 display. But of course it can be made working exactly like a 7-segment. The size of it though, the height is 1 inch. 0.8, 1 inch. Okay? And this is bigger, much bigger. This is 2.3 inches size. That's what I used in two versions here. The brighter one and the dimmer one is this, 2.3. So I put them aside. I don't need them anymore, like that. Now, we start to see the difference between the numbers by using these little projects I prepared for you. Here in the top, I have a generator for numbers between 1 to 6. Imagine like you have an electronic dice. It only counts 1 to 6. It doesn't show the 7, 8, 9, and 0. Anything 1 to 6, but you can see 0.5 inches size and 2.3 inches size. What is the difference between the two when you display different numbers? Okay, let's suppose I leave it like that. Now the other one, here when I press the green, that's a generator for numbers, all the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 0. So we take a look just to see the difference between the numbers 5, 4, 5, 4. And for the 0.3 inches size to see to make the distinction between all these three. So the 0, so I have the number 50 on 2 digits, or 51, or 8. You can display any between 0 to 9, okay? Absolutely any. This one displays it randomly, but it doesn't matter. That's for another project. Now I just want you to see the numbers, okay? The sizes of the numbers. So far, so good. Next, I pick up this one. This one is a number already made. I've made it already for one of my friends because his house, his townhouse has 4 digits. Obviously, they are not these ones, but 4 digits. And there are 3 ways you can make such a project working. First way is hardware wiring. So in the moment you make it, the only way to change the numbers is if you redo the wiring. Second way to make it working, I'm going to use the light to show them to you. The second way is to put in series with the segments of the display some mini dip switches exactly like these ones. So you then will be able to change the numbers. And the third way to do it is to build a counter by just pressing a button like here. You're going to be able to change numbers. Okay? For this one here with the mini dip switches, with the mini dip switches though, so then we can change the numbers here. For instance, with this, and with this, I have another one. So I have now the number 9. So then, if, because this is again not exactly a 7-segment display, as you can see here, I was able to put for the 0, like in programming, a slash over it, so there is no confusion. But for this one, which is a bit fancier, if I want, I can do a strange modification, something like this, and then I can modify it. So like this is going to be something like 7305. Okay. So you can do that. You can change the numbers. It's still hardware wired, but you can change the numbers only from time to time. Supposing it was having a cover, you have to remove it and so on. Okay. But this is a way to change the number. And we're going to now, oh, by the way, before I change it, you can also see something interesting here. If you don't need to be that bright, you can make it dimmer like this, and you can reduce the consumption. We're going to talk about the consumption at the end of the video. But right now you can see the difference. It's the same kind of display, but this is very bright and this is dimmer. You can make them both, okay? And now we are going to open our project we were discussing at the beginning. Just a moment. Okay. We remove the plastic cover here. And now we have access to see that below every digit there is a sequence of mini dip switches. And by playing with these switches, of course, we're going to be able to change the numbers. We're going to discuss this one, how to make it in detail, but it's not in the present video. Now I just want to show you the projects to find out, to see what you're going to need, okay? So for this one here, for instance, if I just press a switch, I can easily make it an 8, okay? So if I change all that, and this and that, I can make it a 1. So it's actually very easy to make it, okay? If I press this one here, I can make it a 7. So that's how you can change the numbers. That's very easy. And all the 4 mini dip switches, they work absolutely the same way. So if I set this one up exactly like the one before, you're going to see this in that moment. So both of them, they look the same now, see? So you can change the numbers as you wish, okay? So if you do the same here, then you can easily change the number exactly like the other one and so on. So all the numbers can be changed. So far, so good? So now, remember, we're going to make this one. Now I want to show you now how much is going to cost you if you make such a project, how much you pay for the energy it's consuming. Okay? Let's pick up this one because this is the brightest one. This one consumes more energy than the others. Okay? Don't know how to make it more visible. But here, this one, the consumption now is a bit more than 0.2 amps. The consumption is going to vary depending on the number you display. So let's consider here to be in our disadvantage the consumption 0.25 amps. So a bit more than what it is, okay, considering you have more segments on, and it's energized at 12 volts, okay? So the voltage is 12. With these two things in mind, now we can do some calculation. Remember the formula for the power is voltage times amperage. So 12 volts times 0.25 amps is going to be 3 watts of power. But this is the useful power we take right now from the power supply. Let's suppose you have a cheap power supply. So let's say the efficiency is 0.8. So then the consumed power is not going to be 3 watt, is going to be 3 watt divided by the efficiency, 0.8. So let's do the math for that, okay? So 3 divided by 0.8, 3.75. Let's say approximately 4 to be in our disadvantage, okay? 4 watts of power. But now for the energy, for your utility provider, you don't pay for the power of your project. You pay for the duration you use that power. So I write it here. The energy is the power times the duration you use it, duration. The power for your utility provider is measured in kilowatt, and the duration is measured in hours. How many kilowatts are represented by 4 watts? 0.004. So far, so good? 0.004 kilowatts is the 4 watts. How many hours? I'd like you to find out how much you are going to pay in a year. So, a year. In 1 week, you have 7 days, 24 hours. This is 168 hours. Okay? But that's not all. The year is 168 hours times 52 weeks, which is 52 weeks times 168 is 87.36 hours. So here we just found out 87.36 hours. So when you multiply this one times 0.004, you get 34.9, let's say approximately, in our disadvantage, 36 kilowatt hour. This is what you consume during a year. But of course, you want to know how much you're going to pay. So let's say the rate for your kilowatt hour is something like 1 kilowatt hour, let's say 20 cents, which is $0.2, okay? So then, total equals what? 36 times 0.2. So 36 times 0.2 $7.2 per year. Okay? Because we talked about the approximate price, let's say a good hamburger is going to be the cost of using your project for 1 year. We good? So next time we start talking about LEDs. Today you're just seeing the projects and all kind of numbers here. Okay? And we start to talk about LEDs. Thank you very much. See you next time.